Nobody but 5-year-olds would listen to that. Hello again. Wait, there's zombies in this game? What's going on, everyone? It's the Nesco. Welcome to Resident Evil Remake. And for those joining me from the first half of the Let's Play, welcome back. I'm going to take on the second story of Resident Evil Remake. Resident Evil. So, if you're a first-timer, be sure to read these very carefully. The top one is hard mode. The second one is easy mode. Now, we've already palled around with Jill, so let's go for hard mode. Chris Redfield.
Alpha Team is flying around the forest zone situated in northwest Raccoon City, where we are searching for the helicopter of our compatriots, Bravo Team, who disappeared during the middle of their mission.
Haven't found it yet?
No, not yet, Brad. Bizarre murder cases have recently occurred in Raccoon City. There are outlandish reports of families being attacked by a group of about 10 people. Victims were apparently eaten. The Bravo Team was sent in to investigate, but we lost contact.
Look, Chris!
Bravo Team's helicopter was a derelict. Save for the remaining body of Kevin. We continued our search for the other members, and it turned into a nightmare.
This way. Damn it! Make for that mansion!
There are only 3 STARS members left now. Captain Wesker, Jill, and myself. We don't know where Barry is.
Is everyone all right?
Barry? Where's Barry?
He's...
No. What was that?
I'll go and check it out.
All right. Jill and I will stay and secure this area.
Chris? Take care.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this quality is terrible. Anyway, welcome to Resident Evil Remake. This is why I called Chris Redfield Hard Mode. For one, he starts out with only a knife. Two, he has 6 inventory slots as opposed to Jill's 8. But one of the advantages is he comes with the lighter. He doesn't get a lockpick, and I'll get into that a bit later on how that has changed. But this means if you want to get rid of Crimson Heads faster, you don't have to carry a lighter, you can just carry the gasoline and burn the bodies. He also comes with a different secondary weapon, which I'll get into a bit later. But, you notice the quality here. I'm actually playing the Wii version. And I'll explain more about that here in a second.
That gunfire. I'm counting on you to investigate, Chris.
You got it, Wesker.
Cutscenes, gameplay, everything. The Wii version took a major downgrade in the quality of everything. I mean, it just looks so bad. It looks like uncompressed AVI. So this is probably one of the only examples where the port to a newer console is so inferior to the original. And we'll be going with this for a few episodes. I just wanted to show off the really, really bad compression of the Wii. And here's our first enemy. I said in Jill's playthrough that you couldn't kill the zombie. You can, but what I really meant to say was you don't want to. You'd waste all your ammo, and in Chris's case, you'd probably die using only the knife, unless you're really, really good at outmaneuvering zombies. So one of the big differences, as far as this Let's Play is concerned, there's not going to be as many choose-your-own choices. It kinda got screwed on this part.
Wesker? Jill? Where did they go?
I don't know what you would call this, whether an advantage or a disadvantage, but at the beginning of the game you get the handgun and the knife. So we ended up getting what I suppose is Jill's gun. And I don't know, I kinda like this setup better. And there's not somebody holding your hand, and this is why I called Jill's mode easy mode, is because you have Barry helping you at every turn. Chris is completely alone for about the first half of the mansion section. There aren't any alternate scenes with any other characters. He's going it solo for a very long time. And that's also where the difficulty comes in. Because, you know, we had Barry to help us in Jill's playthrough. And in this one, you're all on your own. You have to figure out everything. And one of the new mechanics added to Chris's playthrough was the fact that, well, you didn't get a lockpick from anybody. And that was one of the, I suppose you would call it a secondary item. You got the lockpick from Barry in Jill's scenario, and in this one you have the lighter. So that's where we're going to get into how some of the doors need to be unlocked. It's not fun. I'm going to admit it outright. It takes far too much time, and it just isn't fun. And you know what else isn't fun? Running out of inventory space, which I only have 2 slots left. And I'm about to take up another one because healing items are a must in this game. If you've never played Resident Evil, it's a survival horror game where ammo is somewhat scarce. It all depends on the difficulty you're playing. But it also plays by tank controls. Now, for the rest of you who have already seen the first half of this Let's Play and just watched Jill's already, you already know this. So tank controls, basically, you press up on the control stick to go forward, and back to go back. It's not like in, let's say, Mario, where if you want to go forward, you have to reposition the camera and go in that direction. The directions are all based on the camera angles in Resident Evil. So if you want to go forward, you better pay attention to what camera angle you're on. And, oh no! Oh, that's bad. Oh, I didn't want that to happen already. I'm not sure if I mentioned it in the first playthrough, but if you get bitten in the back by a zombie, you get twice as much damage. Now, a big difference, I don't know if you'd call this a cosmetic change, but Chris can take more hits. I suppose this is because he's like a big burly man. He can take about twice as many hits more than Jill can. Now, something I want to show off here. If you want to know where an enemy is in a room, just for the main playthrough, if you hold R, you can hold up your weapon, and if you press L, you'll auto-aim towards the enemy. So if you ever want to know where an enemy is, just hold up your gun and auto-aim. And here's a little something I like to do if I'm going for like a completionist run. There actually is an item here in this statue, and I think I pushed it a little too far. Yep, just a little too far. The survival horror genre, especially in the case of Resident Evil, has kind of gone downhill. The horror genre has become the action horror genre. And it's really annoying when you want an old-fashioned horror game and you have to, like, go around guns blazing, shooting people up, destroying things with explosions. All horror games are turning into a Michael Bay movie, and it's not really cool. So I like to go back to these old horror games and play them over again, just to actually have, you know, a sense of dread, a feeling of horror. And these games actually do pretty well in that respect. A couple other mechanics I guess I could explain, because I kind of skipped through the explanations. A lot of items around the mansion you can pick up, and they can be used for other things such as puzzles. Like that arrow that I picked up, the crystal arrow. That can be looked at in different ways. You can examine items all the way around. That was something that was added from... It wasn't in the PlayStation 1 version of Resident Evil. So here, let me show you. I can examine it all the way around, and sometimes, if you click for a description, something else will happen to your items. And there we go. Puzzle 1 solved. I am the Puzzle Master. Just call me late in the second. Another thing that was added to the remake of Resident Evil are defensive items, and that was like the dagger I picked up. And in Jill's scenario, she got a taser. In Chris's scenario, he gets flash grenades. Now that is probably the funniest thing I've seen in Resident Evil for a while, because pretty much you just shove a grenade in a zombie's mouth and his head just explodes. It's hilarious. Now, for certain puzzles, especially with the different items you'll be getting around the mansion, looking around every nook and cranny on all these items will help you solve a lot of puzzles. Like in this case, you wouldn't be able to open the book unless you looked in the back to find the key. And if you want to know what key this is, well, it has an insignia. Excuse me. Now, inside that book, it gave us a big hint that we're going to have to collect 4 of something. See no evil, smell no evil, and I think... see no evil, smell no evil, speak no evil. And then 1 mask that has all 3. So we're going to have to collect 4 of something, I guess in this case the masks. And one special thing I pride myself in, not in this regard, but there's how you use a defensive item. But dodging zombies and going for a pacifist run is probably the best way to play Resident Evil, especially these old-fashioned tank control ones. In this case, if you don't kill zombies in this game, you'll have a better chance. Like in Resident Evil 0, you can kill anything you want. But in this one specifically, I would suggest not doing it. Now here's what the screen looks like for the Wii menu. It's pretty much the same if you're using a GameCube controller, but you can use the Wiimote, nunchuck, but it's not as good. So, let me just show you something. Here's a little bonus battle just to add a bit more content to this one. Don't open the door. It's actually kind of funny that in the original PlayStation Resident Evil, the dogs would just come up into the door and snarl, and it was a cutscene. They wouldn't think of having enemies come into one of your only safe havens in this entire mansion. And this dog's getting on my nerves. Come on, there we go. I think that covers all the basics for Resident Evil. So, well, we managed to get our first key. We're going around the mansion. Aw, it won't let me do it again. Alright. So, I think that's a good place to end it off here. We actually got quite a lot done. So, next time on Resident Evil Remake, we're going to be going further into the mansion.